What's up, guys? It's Brendan here from Tidewater Aerial. Today I've got my Emax Tiny Hawk that everybody's been crazing about. Had this thing for a couple days now. I just got done ripping a few packs. Today I'm going to go over a couple of things you need to know when you get this thing. You're going to want to make sure you reinforce the camera, because right now the camera wiggles because I crashed it, and it's going to happen to you. So what I'm going to do today is a little mod to help make sure that doesn't happen. It's not the end of the world, you can fix it easily, but just to make sure when you're out there flying after you crash once, you don't have to worry about taking it apart right when you get set up to fly. And also, I'll just give you a little overview on everything inside the case. So it comes with this awesome case. It comes with 2 batteries, so you're going to get, if you get it from Amazon, that is, you'll get a Crazy Pony 600 milliamp hour 3.7 volt LiPo, and then you'll get an Emax version, which these things are like $7 a pop, I think, online, but it's crazy they cost that much. But I went ahead and ordered some other ones. These are the GNB flights. They run, I didn't notice any difference. I just got done, I flew about 4 packs. It's pretty cold outside, so they hold up pretty well in the cold. No noticeable difference in the performance. So, but yeah, other than that, you get it. So mine came with this charger here, which is cool. I guess it plugs into your USB, but it looks like it only goes up to 0.6 amps. And that might be okay, but I like to charge a little faster. And I just, coming from the Whoop background, I went ahead with the Bold Class charger. I highly recommend this thing. This thing's awesome. And it's got tons of different battery sizes, even though you're probably only going to use the micro NSP or MCPX. But I'll go ahead and show you how you use this thing. So we'll just jump down here. You'll see the hot glue gun too. That's for the mod I'm about to show you next. So to charge these guys, you just make sure you have a 9 to 15 volt DC power source. I took this one from a computer, so I already had one. But you can buy the little connector into your power supply if you want to use that. But this is the easiest way, in my opinion. Let's see if we get that to focus a little bit. Yeah, whatever. So basically, yeah, you power it up. I set mine on 1 amp because the charge is faster. Haven't had any problems. I used to charge all my Whoop batteries at that same rate. So, no issues there. But it's as simple as just plugging in, and some of these have a little charge on them already, so you might see it green, and that'll tell you when it's done. I think it's probably going to be one of these 3 right here. But I'm going ahead and charge these because I'm getting ready to do some more flying after I fix the camera. But this Tiny Hawk is amazing. Like I can do laps around the house. The speeds are insane for what you get out of these little motors. Like, I didn't ever get that kind of performance out of a Whoop, so hopefully you enjoyed it. But pretty much, boom, you can charge 6 batteries at once. And it's also got, I think it's an XT60 port, so you can put a bigger LiPo from the bigger brushless drones in there and use that for your charging if you want to do field charging. But for me, 6 batteries is plenty for 1 session. So go ahead and take those off. That's that. We'll let that charge, and we'll go ahead and dive into the mod for this to get that camera fixed. So if you flip it over, you'll see 4 screws. So we're gonna go ahead, grab some tools. All right, just gonna go with 2.0 Phillips driver, so should do it. So like I said, take these 4 off, and you might be able to do it without this, but we all want to take it apart and see what's inside. That's too big of a driver. A little bit smaller. Let's go with a 1.5. So let's go ahead and zip these 4 off. Really small screws, but they're just like the tiny Whoop screws. this thing, I gotta tell you, is the way to go if you want to fly micros. I mean, for basically $100, you get a bind and fly with brushless motors that in theory are going to last you a lot longer than the brush motors would, and seem like they have way more power for the same one. Alright, so I got 4 screws off. I just went ahead and skipped ahead. So you'll see the motors are kind of in there, so you're gonna just kind of want to figure out which side. So these things are all plug and play connectors, so I just kind of put my finger in there and pull down, and that takes that one off. Alright, so now you can kind of see the guts down there, but what you can see in there, see that camera's just kind of flopping in the wind? So what you gotta do, and pay attention whenever you put this in, that make sure the cables are on the side that faces up whenever you arrange the camera, just in case you put it in backwards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push it back into this slot. So you'll see right here, let me get my tongs. So these little ears have to go one here, so you can see that, one here, and then one upper. So, and then once I get them in there, I'm gonna glue them with hot glue, so it just gives them a little bit more adhesive and kind of bonds them to the frame, which I don't know why they didn't do that from the factory, because I literally flew 6 packs with this thing, and then it crapped out on me. And you can see your you got your VTX antenna and your TX antenna. If you want, you could stick it out the top, and I think it might give you a little bit more receiver quality, because you know the vertical usually works a little bit better. And from my experience, whenever you're doing RC transmission, you always want to be kind of perpendicular to the signal. So what I'm going to do is try to get this thing rotated. Bear with me here, it's not the biggest space to work in. So, I don't know if you can see it, but it's, what I think the best way to do it is get the bottom side connected in, see, like that. Now it's plugged in there, and then flip it around, try to really hard to, gotta keep track of these little rubber isolating bush and things. So the idea is you gotta just pry up the top and make it so that fits in. So I'm going to just stick my little pliers in here. And you really shouldn't have to do this, but for some reason Emax didn't think it was necessary to. So there it is. I pried it in, so now it's nice and aligned in there. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of pull this to the side and put some, just hit some hot glue there, and some hot glue right in this area, and hopefully that will suffice. And this stuff doesn't transmit electricity, so be generous. And just make sure you don't get any on the outside so you can keep it nice and clean. And that should take care of it. I would just put it back together, and you should be good to go. So other than that, man, I hope hope you have some fun with this thing. I've been ripping it, and enjoy. I'll put a little bit of video of the flight time after this little tutorial ends, and yeah, just check it out. It's a great flyer. Thanks for watching, guys.